South East WSL. Brighton beating the league leaders Manchester City, a victory that would have put them on the brink of that long-awaited title. The Chelsea scoreline will be of interest elsewhere today to United. They're away at Everton, who've had that huge upturn in form since the change in the dugout in February. London City Lionesses meanwhile host Leicester. Fox is trying to avoid finishing in that relegation playoff spot. Spurs in action here too. So these are the league standings right now. Yes, Spurs are within 9 points of Arsenal and Manchester United, but with 3 games to go and the goal difference realistically, Champions League football, while not mathematically, is realistically beyond them. Arsenal have games in hand and will have more in hand because they don't play today. They're in Champions League action against Lyon. So Manchester United looking to close the gap on Chelsea, hoping that Everton do them a favour as well. We're very close to kick-off in the N17 area of London, so let's hear from both managers in a moment. Martin Ho, but first, Manchester United's Mark Skinner.
Well, just 3 games left. You've described it as the biggest of challenges, but how excited are you to be back here and ready for this next run-in?
Well, we really are. We're playing 3 very good teams in the last 3, so we're excited for the challenge of it. I think that the last blocks of football were football every 3 days, so for us to have a little bit of preparation going into it, I want to see that kind of energy return to my team, because I think they've been incredible this season so far, so we need to keep that up.
Tottenham are just 1 spot below you in the table, but they're without a win since mid-February. What are you expecting to see from them here today?
Well, you can see they attack very well. I think obviously when you attack like that, you give up a little bit at the back, and I think they've played some very good teams. So today we've got to try and exploit the spaces, but also defend well, because they've got players that can turn the game on the edge of anything. So we've got to be prepared for that, and that's something we're going to ask of the players today.
You mentioned defend well, but they've never beaten you in the WSL. How do you make sure that today is not the first time?
By playing and scoring goals. Yeah, look, that's obviously a stat that you want to keep, but it doesn't matter. The game's evolving so quickly each season, so we need to be prepared that in order to stay ahead of that kind of stat, you need to go and execute on the field, and we need to execute today. We know what we can do, and I want to see my players play with that energy and freedom again.
Manchester United, a team that you know well, how will they threaten you today, and what is it you think you've got to get right?
Yeah, again, being good around their box or being good in ours, those both boxes will count, but more control them when we can control the game and put ourselves in positions where we think we can defensively, making sure we're concentrated and we're aggressive when we need to be, and we force them into areas we want them to play in. But we know they're a really good side, they're a really good team. Now they've got players back coming into their squad, which definitely gives them more depth. We just need to respect them, but make sure that we don't fear everything they do.
You've never beaten them in the WSL. When you're already close to your best ever points tally in a season, tell us, what would it mean to beat them here today in the sunshine at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
Yeah, not just to beat them here or beat them in general, more it's just for us to keep pushing in the direction we're going in, and adding points to the total we have now is important. We want to finish as high as we can with as many points as we can, and the performance needs to allow us to do that. And by doing that, I think we put ourselves in a position, if we perform well, and then what will definitely give the group is a confidence when you play against one of the big teams in the league and you get a result. I think it gives the group confidence.
Martin Ho speaking ahead of kick-off in North London. You can see the Manchester United bench here because we're moments away from kick-off, and with me, Rob Daly, is Fern Whelan. And Fern, some of the big news, we'll get to the 11 surely, is that Ella Toone is back on the United bench today after that long absence.
Yeah, it's a fantastic sight to see Ella Toone back in the dugout, potentially being able to come on today. As you say, she's had a long time out with that groin injury that kept her sidelined for Manchester United and for the Lionesses. So it's a real positive sign for Manchester United that she's there and potentially could get some minutes today.
And healthy travelling supporters we've seen not only domestically but in the Champions League this season for Manchester United. And another chance for this Spurs team to step out here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We were at the game against Everton the last time they played here a few weeks back.
Yeah, it's a momentous stadium for them, and it's a fantastic occasion. I think Martin Ho spoke about how they need to be switched on today, and potentially in that, I think the occasion maybe got the better of them playing in this stadium. So different challenge for them. They've got confidence against this side. They went 3-0 up against them last time out against Manchester United. It's about how now can they stay in the game and not concede goals later on in the game. But as you say, fantastic stadium, fantastic occasion, and really good opportunity for them today against the Manchester United side.
Mark Skinner takes his seat. United step out in spectacular surroundings. For the hosts, they're at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the final time this season. Martin Ho and Spurs harbour the ambition to close the gap on those top four sides in the Barclays WSL, and Manchester United chasing Champions League football again are one of them. Spurs haven't been in great form prior to this, but neither have Mark Skinner's side in all competitions. 1 win in 7, and Martin Ho and Skinner know each other well, having worked together at United as well. A strong finish needed for the visitors here to claim a top 3 spot by the season's end. Micah Hamano, one of the notable returnees for Spurs, so let's get a look at today's teams. The headline news in truth is that Ella Morris makes her first start for Spurs since the ACL injury she suffered back in May of last year. Her return is well timed because fellow right back Hannah Vake is out for the season. Top scorer Bethany England is not in the squad, no official word on her absence just yet. Tinka Tamberg therefore leads the line. Hamano, who was cup-tied against her parents of Chelsea in the FA Cup, most recently is restored, as is Olivia Holt. Leah Schuler starts up front for Manchester United in pursuit of her first Barclays WSL goal since joining from Bayern. But your eyes are drawn to the bench with the return of Alan Toon, Anna Sandberg and Ellen Vangerheim as well. Fridolina Rolfer has scored a handful of goals against Spurs this season, so no surprise she's amongst the starters. Julia Zigliotti-Olma is absent, we found out today, due to illness, and it's another game due to the volume of absentees since United unable to name a full bench. So pressure on Leah Schuler right now, Fern, to get up and running in the league at least for United.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there is a bit of pressure on her now. As you say, she's still seeking out that first WSL goal. She has scored for Manchester United against Burnley this season, but for her, with the experience that she comes with at the German international and the prolific goal scorer that she came, with that record, she'll be looking to get underway today.
Spurs in the huddle. Drew Spence wearing the captain's armband today with no England involved. With Ella Morris, despite her relatively young age, into the team and seen as one of the future stars, of course, having come so close to that England appearance.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic to see her back in the side. She had a long time out with that ACL injury, which she did actually training with the Lionesses, so that just shows the capabilities that she does have. And she came on in that Chelsea FA Cup quarter-final a couple of weeks back and showed that she was got herself straight in the tackle, showed that she's ready to be back out there and has been rewarded with the start today.
Mel Bergen is today's match referee in glorious sunshine. Manchester United likely know they can afford too many further slip-ups, if any. In truth, in pursuit of qualifying for the UEFA Women's Champions League. They're outside the top 3, within touching distance of it, facing a Spurs side looking for a real scalp, their first ever league win against United in the top flight. A compelling prospect today, Fern Whelan. How do you expect the two teams to go about the task?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting one today, isn't it? And what could be potentially a really exciting tie. As we spoke about it not too long ago, last time out for these sides met, it was 3-3. Manchester United coming back from 3-0 down to Tottenham, showing that they have got the capability to score against this side, but for them it's how they stay in games and how they keep that consistency. As you said, they've not had a good run of form of late, and I've conceded for me far too many goals of late, so I think first and foremost for them it's about how they tighten up going forward within this game.
First foul sees Olivia Holt brought down by Anthony Ozawa, the Japanese international. back to Lisa Kopp and Amanda Nilden. A full-back at centre-back again for Spurs today. Nelson cuts it out, Park moves it on, and United have it for the first time.
Yeah, interesting to see Nilden sitting in that centre-half position as well, where she played against Chelsea. I thought she did a good job in there. She's one of those players that, is strong in the tackle, likes a good challenge, and I think fits well in that centre-half position, while, the absence of Claire Hunt at centre-half, which, they have been missing here as well.
Yeah, Claire Hunt, one of the absentees for Spurs. Have a few long-term ones. Jess Naz and Maitaros have been out with ACL problems, and Claire Hunt had knee surgery in mid-March. She came back from the Asian Cup, actually, having reached the final with Australia with the injury. Wolfer, starting out on the United left today, drops it back to Lundqvist. Another starter centre-back, by the way, for Millie Turner as well, because Dominic Janssen is still unavailable, training but not ready for this game. Spence, onto that, picked up smartly, moved on to Hermano, his holds. It's a bag of tricks, just shut down well by Lundqvist.
I think both sides have just got to be really switched on today, haven't they? We're speaking about goals and going forward, with that leaves you open sometimes to those quick transitions, and you've got to be able to be switched on as a back line from both sides to be able to counter that. So expect the game to be quite expansive today, in that both sides look to go forward and look to do that quickly and in numbers, but it's how you switch on to those quick counter-attacks and transitions.
Referee pulling this one back. Not happy, I think, about where the game was restarted. So pleased with Martin Ho's work in his first season as Spurs boss, so they recently handed him a contract extension, and the club's best ever Barclays WSL points tally is within their sights. 3 points from equalling it, 4 points from exceeding it for the 21-22 campaign.
Yeah, it was a fantastic season overall, really, hasn't he? And spoke about how already potentially looking at it, it's been a success for them. I think they'll obviously want to finish strong, rather than the way the run of form has been. So opportunities for them now to prove that it wasn't a bit of a fluke, that first half of the season, and show really what they're capable of today.
Let's see what Ellen Morris is capable of here, getting forward from right back. Romano. Galpsep, Holtz. United to turn it around. It's forced forward by Turner. Schuler well shut down.
Yeah, good defending there from Koga. I think for me she's a player that's impressed me this season as well. Last time these two sides met, we'll talk about the goals quite a lot, but we don't talk about the goal line clearances. She had 2 of those in those games to keep her side in it as well. So big player for them today.
Bimberg race forward. She has started down the Spurs left today. Galpsek can't get around Awujo. Galpsek again, a willing runner, always in possession. Couldn't quite shake off Awujo. Right start from Spurs though, I think you could argue.
Yeah, definitely, and on that player, Galpsek as well. I think she's finding her feet since coming in January. She's positive, she will go direct, and she has got a turn of pace about her. I think Awujo did well. Just a stifler there.
Holtz. Barlow. Koga slips it in. Galpsek. Bimberg. Tamberg in the middle, and the cross is beyond her and beyond everyone. A good build-up play again from Spurs.
Yeah, it's really, really good build-up from Spurs. Galpsek just finding that little bit of space in between the pocket. Manages to play it out onto this left-hand side, but the shot's obviously clearly over the bar on that occasion, which just shows the Spurs are starting themselves really bright, which is what we said they needed to do going into today's game.
Mark Skinner, the longest serving Barclays WSL boss right now. His last deal was signed back in April 2025. Wolfer.
Bolto, as she picked the ball up there in the midfield, she was just expecting Hannah Lundqvist just to be a little bit higher out on that left hand side to be able to help her to start that attacking momentum play down that left hand side, and I think that's what Manchester United will want more of today, to see those full-backs with Lundqvist joining in those advanced positions.
Ball runs to Holt. Gaupset sits up a couple of times in the opening stages of the game and do so again here. And Marno. Lidberg's made a run up to get that splendid pass. Marno. Oh, what a clever ball that is. Gaupset. And just in the way at the right time was Miyazawa.
Yeah, Miyazawa does really well there, but not the first time we've seen Gaupset just picking the ball up in between the lines, making those clever runs just off the back shoulders of the defenders.
Holt collects the long throw. Was just unaware that Lundqvist was about to pick her pocket. Wujo. Spurs have it, but at first sight as well of that long throw from Ella Morris that was effective against Chelsea in the FA Cup.
Yeah, created the chance, didn't it, for them in that FA Cup, which, you know, they were so close to get themselves back into against Chelsea. They nearly take it into extra time.
Put back by Blackstad. Tabo holds up. Choice steps out. What did you make of Spurs in that FA Cup tie? But narrowly lost in the end to that Birmingham wonder strike for 2-1 at Kingsmeadow.
Yeah, I think that shows though, doesn't it, that was what made the difference. It took a wonder strike from Chelsea to be able to win that game. I thought Spurs held their own. I thought they were really strong. Throughout the 90 against Chelsea, they just switched off at times within the game at key moments, but did really well to get themselves back into it. So I think they can take a lot of positives from that on the day. Even to be able to bring on players like Holt, she didn't even start the game, she came on and made a difference, shows just how much strength and depth they do have in their side now.
See Leonard Gunnar Williams amongst the substitutes. Riviere taking the throw in here, having won the under-23 Euro with England during the international break. The Spurs press aggressively. Turner rushed into the pass.
Yeah, it's fantastic pressure from Tottenham, and I think, you know, as you've just said, they have started the brighter of the two sides in this opening 10 minutes, and that pressure from them causes errors, and that's obviously what they're trying to do. Manchester United can't quite find themselves a foothold into the game. The last 2 or 3 spells of possession they've given it away cheaply.
Amano, back to Morris. Hogan just carries it with ease. Holt again. Sees the run of Tamberg right onto her toe. Morris trying to get in behind Lundqvist, but that's brilliant defending for the Sweden international.
Yeah, really good defending there from Lundqvist. But again, it's that turn of play when you do have the ball, trying to keep hold of possession when you're coming out, because He's got 4 Tottenham players all around the ball. We'll see it again here. Just really composed. Doesn't just kick it out of play, keeps hold of the ball, keeps possession, tries to bring her teammates back into it with her.
Amanda Nilden, whose sister Matilda is on the Spurs bench today again, the winter recruit.
Yeah, I played with Amanda when played at Brighton. Quite a few seasons ago, as you're looking at me, I know I retired a long time ago now. But no, she's a quality player. Used to more see her in those full-back positions and driving forward. She's got a wicked left foot. But probably what people won't see in her, she's actually a super quick player as well, so that will help her today in coming up against the likes of Jess Park and Leah Schuller.
Tamberg, nearly on the end of the Galmset cross. That all came from smart build-up involving Nilden. Galmset again, who's been really busy off the ball. Morris. Galmset finds Holt. It's an excellent ball. Wimberg can't shoot. Tamberg can't either. Spence. Galmset might as well have a pop. And a deflection takes it behind for a Tottenham corner.
Really, really positive play there from Galmset, as if she started so well. Manages to just, it causes Manchester United all sorts of problems within this box, but she's first to react when it comes back from Spence. And why not? She hits it, striking a deflection as it comes through. We'll see again here, I think it's Nelson, the original deflection, just takes it away from goal. But a real opportunity for Spurs here with the corner.
So Wimberg to swing this in, and more hang it up really, and Tamberg's looping headed onto the roof of the net, so Spurs get 2 meaningful attempts away. Ella Morris was part of the pack trying to meet that as well.
Yeah, just adds to the positive start. The corner was looping in from Wimberg, and it's Tamberg who rises the highest, but you can see it high fives all around because they know they've started off really positively and really brightly in this first opening 15.
Colour Choice has the short options here. Will she use them? She's inclined not to. Galmset. Wimberg collects. Blackstad.
You see there as Wimberg had hold of the ball, Tamberg was just telling her, just be calm, just relax on the ball, we don't need to force it. And you know, you can see Tottenham doing that, they're not afraid to just keep hold of the ball for 2, 3, 4 more passes before they then try and penetrate and go forward. It's really clever play from them.
It's been a key part of the fact that Spurs have had 2/3 of the ball. What a start from them here. Skinner was talking about the fact that Spurs can play direct, not in a long ball way, but move the ball quickly, and that they're good on the counter-attack. Well, they've been the dominant side in possession so far. Wimberg's cross, Tamberg peels off, and she did connect with it.
Just when you have these spells of possession, isn't it? And you know what you do with the ball at the time, and they don't want to come to this point where they rue not actually scoring when they do have this, you know, this real drive and momentum, and they do have a lot of the possession. Tottenham Hotspur is how they can turn that into goals now.
Rolfer, Awujo and Lundqvist. So central to the way that United tick. No surprise that one of the most promising attacking moments anyway goes through her. Rolfo will collect after Rivier's overhit cross, and that was well dealt with by Morris.
Yeah, good defending there from Morris, wasn't it? Just snuff out the danger really from Rolfo as she tried to beat her down the line on her outside. But good play from Miyazawa initially in the build-up, just to find that space and find Jade Riviere really high up on that right-hand side. That's what you want to see from Manchester United, doing a little bit more of that to bring the full-backs into play.
Spurs pressure again forces the turnover. Spurs actually come into this having lost 3 in a row in the Barclays WSL, and many of those fans would have been at Kings Meadow for the match that made it 4 in all competitions. The narrow FA Cup loss to Chelsea, more concerning perhaps the margin by which they were recently beaten by Manchester City and Arsenal, losing both of those games, bizarrely, by the same 5-2 scoreline.
Yeah, and the opening 20 minutes or so, wasn't it, where Alessia Russo scored that hat-trick against them for Arsenal. Shows just how vulnerable they can be at the back though, even when they're beating teams like Aston Villa 7-3. You're looking at the 3 that they conceded, so you know, it's about them tightening up and not switching off. A lot of the goals were from, you know, switching off in their own possession, maybe ball watching at times, and in and around their own box as well.
They've kept it well here as Spence moves it on to Galveston, trying to shrug off a Wujo. Lindbergh and Mano. A couple of players around the back post, including Tambo, who actually lost sight of it in the end. Spence controls an effort. The ball's slightly behind her when she tried to whip it goalwards.
Yeah, but really positive to see her in those areas. She started that move off herself actually, and it came from really deep, and then she's managed to get herself up really high up to be able to be the one taking the shot from the edge of the box. But it's a ball in from Hamano that just hangs it up, makes it really difficult. Riviere does really well to be able to defend the first ball, and Spence can't quite connect with it how she would have liked.
Turner back to Tallis Joyce. Just go all the way through to Shula.
Probably more a bit fortuitously though, rather than accurately really with the ball. It looks a little bit nervy when the ball's coming back to Tallis Joyce. There's a few times where they're looking to go long and go direct, which at times can work, but of the last couple of ones it's actually given the ball away to Manchester United. Need to just get hold of the ball and keep hold of possession for longer spells.
Julia Zigiotti Olmo absent from that Manchester United midfield today. Sure enough, the ball goes into midfield, United lose it, they have it back again. Riviere. Park in support. Awujo. Lundqvist does get ball from left back eventually, but Koga and Hamano tries to move it away.
Hamano does really well there, good ethic from here, but I think you're right. I think just as Awujo looks up, she expects to see Lundqvist bombing on down that left-hand side, and she wasn't quite there in the initial, and it just allowed Tottenham players to get themselves back into shape.
One of the January signings. Is in possession here. Wolfer. Lundqvist. Wolfer takes on Morris. And United get a corner in front of the South Stand.
Yeah, opportunity now for Manchester United just to to get themselves a foothold into the game. It was actually really good defending from Morris down this here right-hand side. Just a stifle roll forward, put it out for a corner.
Letizia will take the corner, the Manchester United captain. Wujo in front of Lisa Kopp, right on that goal line. And it's straight onto the roof of the Spurs net. #121st start today in a row for May Letizia, a play you know well, Fern.
That's just phenomenal, isn't it? Unbelievable stat. And, you know, not one that actually surprises me, knowing Maya and having played with her for a couple of seasons at Brighton. She was always the player that would be first into training. She's got that dedication. You always knew she was going to be that type of player that would just never ever want to miss a game. But for me, it does beg the question for Manchester United: do they have that strength and depth as centre half in those positions to be able to rotate at times? Because she is going to need that rest at some point. You know, I know she can do it and would love to not miss a game, but it would nice to be able to think that she could get rotated in there at some point.
Of course, the depth of Manchester United squad has been a major talking point. It has been for Mark Skinner as well. Message he was hammering home as well from his press conference this week, especially if United are to get in the Champions League again.
Yeah, I just think we spoke about it at the turn of the season when they brought in, you know, those signings in January, and it looked like they had that, you know, phenomenal depth, and we just saw the amount of games increasing with Champions League and the injuries pick up, that all of a sudden it highlighted just how much they maybe still need that more added depth in the side.
Park, a ripple of expectation, because we all know what she can do when breaking through the centre of the pitch like that. Riviere has it, shifts away from Vinberg, a real place here from the right back, and United have options in there. Rolfer back in, Koga, and up by Park. Well, United backed off, it's still in play, and thumped clear by Blackstad.
It's a great bit of play there, wasn't it, from Riviere down that right-hand side. Showing what can happen for Manchester United when they do find that space in those wide areas. We're seeing Jessica Park just coming into the game a little bit more as she's coming in off that right-hand side, coming into those central areas. As you said, we do know what she's capable of with the ball at her feet.
Riviere forward again, great work with the 1-2, Awujo. Riviere might be offside here, and she is. But a couple of promising moments involving the Canadian international.
Yeah, we're an opportunity to challenge that left-hand side of, as you say, Milden and Blackstad, and just to find that space down that right-hand side that can challenge them and just do it a little bit quicker. It's been a little bit tentative for Manchester United in the first opening 20 when they have had the ball.
Koga. Let's go back to Kopp. Great ball from Koga. I wonder if it was loose, but Vinberg and Galpset tidy up. Morris. Romano and Spence can't get that 1-2 going. Park. United's scorebook reads 1 win in 7. Only victory in 7 matches in all competitions, coming against Everton, and that was a late one. Back back-to-back Champions League defeats to Bayern. They lost in the League Cup final to Chelsea, went out in the FA Cup to Chelsea, most recently in the league. The 3-0 loss to Manchester City.
Yeah, it doesn't make for good reason, does it, though, when you look at the form, especially even that when you look at the draw they have with West Ham. They had opportunities to put that game to bed within it, but it just feels like even the first 20 minutes here, it just feels a little bit tired from Manchester United, not just in physical but in mind. Some of the passes going astray. Just wonder as it's tailoring off to this latter stages in the season. As you say, the difficulties they've had with keeping their squad fit. They do have positives in that now, though, bringing, as you said, Sandberg back into the side. Toon hopefully coming in back fresh for them, and Mallard sitting on the bench as well. So they've got players that can come on with energy. It's just whether they're trying to get it into this game now. But I do think they've managed to control the midfield a little bit better within these last 10 or so minutes. Gaupset and Holt were finding a lot of space within the opening 15, which they've limited them to in the last 10 or so.
Kogut, loose touch and then does give it away. Schuler, shut down by Spence, and Leah Schuler yet to really get into this yet for Manchester United.
No, she's put under pressure straight away, ball given away by Kogut, but then she's putting straight under pressure by Spence within that midfield. It's about, can you get it quickly face forward and then find players in and around you, but Tottenham do well with the pressure when they do lose the ball. They've got that mentality that they want to win it straight back, and I think that comes from Martin Ho. Spoke about it before, what he wants to bring to this team. It's not just about that quality in possession, but it's that work rate and that in-dead route to possession as well.
Schuler, that is good link-up play. And Rolfo is held back. Elsewhere in the Barclays WSL right now, Chelsea were 1 up at Everton through Sam Kerr's goal, but Yuka Mamiki actually scored a wonderful goal here for Everton a few weeks back. He's got the equaliser, so 1-1 between Everton and Chelsea, and still goalless in the other 12 o'clock kick-off down in Bromley, other side of the River Thames, to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. London City 0-0 with Leicester City. Liverpool West Ham later in the day. Clark. Well, that's right in front of the assistant referee. He's not given a free kick.
Still down though. Looks to be in a bit quite a bit discomfort over there, Jeff Park.
Back to her feet and hobbling. Gaupset around the corner. Straight stuck into it, Clark, but Vinberg nearly came away with it regardless. Gaupset given straight back to Spurs by Manchester United. Hermano, Spence, Morris, Holt again. United do stop it, but there was plenty of movement off of the ball there from Spurs.
Yeah, it was really clever, intricate play from Spurs. Hermano heavily involved in that. Juice Spence coming in at the edge of the box, but again, the original giving the ball away was Fallon Tullis-Joyce. The lack of composure, giving the ball straight back to Tottenham Hotspur, which, you know, is potentially like slightly uncharacteristic of her as well.
Gaupset onto that second ball. Rolf forgets it. Hermano. Lovely touch of Spence, and well set. Micah Hermano away, two waits in the middle. And it's a good recovery challenge from Hannah Lundqvist.
Yeah, this is really good here, just from Juice Spence. Defence splitting pass from here. Hermano gets their head up. Lundqvist was really, really well with the recovery, just to put this one out from a corner, but again, it's really, really good link-up play. Down down this right-hand side, and again, Amano heavily involved.
The Spurs corner in on Tullis Joyce, who punches well. Lundqvist eventually away. Back with Amanda Nielsen. And Spurs are going to get another corner here. Touch behind from Lundqvist again.
That's good from Spurs, just to keep that sustained run when the original corner was cleared. Ball coming in from Wimberg, and it's Tullis Joyce with the punch. Few Spurs players down in the 18-yard box, unsure what I did there, but really good for them to keep that pressure on, get themselves into the corner.
So another chance for Matilda Wimberg to swing this in. It's in on the keeper again. Oh, well claimed. It was messy. Letizia was in a way, but Tullis Joyce holds on.
Yeah, now we see them play out from the back. Just wanting to try and find that composure a little bit. Manchester United, Tullis Joyce eventually with the claim from the corner.
Done with by Nilden and Spence. The team gave everything against Chelsea, said Martin Her in that FA Cup tie, pointed to the fact it was a wonder strike that won the game. I was hoping in terms of the performance there might be some momentum coming into this one with United.
Yeah, and I think it's needed for them, isn't it? Just can give them that little bit of boost and a little bit of confidence that they did compete with Chelsea for long periods in that game. So it's about coming into today and, you know, taking that momentum from that a little bit. They were minutes away from taking them to extra time.
It's interesting watching Koga. She's really following players deep into United half, isn't she, from centre back?
Yeah, she's not making it easy for them at all, and she knows that if she does come out of position, she's got the cover from potentially Morris, from Nilden, tucking in, condensing that space, so she's been given that freedom to go in and press and win it early, win it higher up, and then get her team on the front foot when she does win the ball.
Meanwhile, London City Lionesses are now 1-1 with Leicester. They just fallen behind but level quickly. Nikita Paris supplying Lucia Corrales to make it London City 1, Leicester 1. It's still 1-1 between Everton and Chelsea. And not impossible that some of the other clubs playing Chelsea, although it is the next, could do United a favour and take points off of them. They have not been the invincible side of last season.
No, they haven't, but ultimately, as you think, we spoke about, the United need to win their games as well, and you know they've got difficult fixtures in Spurs today. Coming up, they've got Brighton, who we saw beat Manchester City yesterday. So, and then they've got Chelsea in that final game of the season. So they have got a difficult 3 games ahead of them, which they'd look at on paper, this one, potentially the next one winnable, but you do have to actually go out and win those games. And even the stats are saying to us here, Tottenham are well and truly on top, aren't they? 6 shots to Manchester United 1. Tottenham are dominating possession, so they have to find themselves a way to get themselves back into this game a little bit.
United level on points with Arsenal at kick-off, but Arsenal have 2 games in hand. They'll have 3 at full time because they're not playing this weekend in the league. Riviere, Galvsep, Wujo, cut out by Morris. He springs forward. Is trying to make a run down the line, but quite on the same wavelength as her teammate Stamberg as well.
No, but I'm just looking in the different levels of energy that I'm seeing, and you see Morris get on the ball, she springs and she leaps forward. And then if you're looking at the direct contrast, some of the Manchester United, it just looks a little bit sluggish in the recovery runs and being able to get back and potentially keep up to the pace of the tempo that Tottenham are setting today.
Was that in part, I mean, could it be an element of rust? I mean, they haven't played since April the 1st, when they went 2-1 down to Bayern Munich. This is the product of a season where they have mainly, as Mark Skinner pointed out, had games every 3 days. We'll get back to that in a moment, because Vinberg is pressing Spurs upfield. Just Park. It's not directly her remit, but puts in an excellent defensive challenge.
And she will do that. She's got a phenomenal work rate, Jess Park. Ball pass down the field as well.
Spence. Galset, her faith she could take that on the half turn. Clear ball by Spence. Tamberg. Onside. Busy penalty area. Spence's pass deflected, Tallis Joyce can't stop it going behind, so Spurs add to the corner count. Played some crucial passes in midfield today through Spence.
Yeah, again I was just about to say, it's the right side in from Spence. You can see Gausset again picked up a great position in between the lines, and she's tried to thread it through to her, but that's her first thought, isn't it? Forward and penetrate, take as many players out as possible.
I think Blackstad gets some treatment pitch side at the moment for Spurs. Up by Vinberg. Tamberg leaps. It's still alive and directed at goal, and Spurs get an attempt on target. Tallis Joyce is not happy about something, but she holds on regardless.
Now she's furious, Tallis Joyce. You see she wants to come out and claim it. Gausset, she's putting her body in the way and making it difficult for her, but there's not a foul in that for me. Again, the ball's floating around in the air and looping directly straight into Tallis Joyce's hands there, which again makes it easier for her in the end, but yeah, she just looks not pleased about the pressure that's on her, but they're obviously allowed to press the goalkeeper.
So Spurs are forced into a change. Blackstad back out. Spence to Holt. Galset. She has looked like a good January signing for Spurs, Signe Galset.
Yeah, the Norwegian doing really well for Spurs since coming in. You can see why today. It's a link-up play as well.
By Tamano and Millie Turner did the right thing, you'd argue, by putting that behind.
Yeah, there was no messing about there from Millie Turner, and she will do that. She's an out-and-out defender, and she just wants to protect the goal and all accounts. But again, it's Tamano making it difficult, getting the ball in and around, trying to get the pull back in. Can't quite make it happen there.
Adrenaline from these Spurs. And again, Galset is in front of Tallis Joyce. There's a couple of players down as well. It's Riviere and Koga.
Yeah, not quite sure what what I heard there off the ball, we were all focused on the corner taker in the first instance of that, but she looks to be in quite some pain in there. She's having a bit of a tussle with Koga, but she's definitely not happy.
Focusing her attention on her knee, it would appear at the moment. And her 50th appearance for United earlier on this season against London City, a game during which she scored. It's not entirely comfortable as Spurs will now whip this in. Look at that impressive travelling support from Manchester United in the North Stand as well. In on the keeper, and well, that was on target. Tullis Joyce knew it.
Yeah, she couldn't afford to make any mistakes with that one. It was just creeping in again. Like you say, you see Gout just standing on her. Again, she has to come and take Millie Turner there with her as well.
Well, Tullis Joyce can't let go of this, and in truth, every time I'm seeing these, I'm not seeing a great deal from Sinja Galpsted.
No, and she's not even looking at her, she's looking at the ball the whole time. She is literally just standing there, which isn't really impeding her too much, but she's obviously not happy about it.
Training round routine. Limbo back in, and it was under the bar, but into the hands of United's first choice keeper. Riviere. That's a great ball. Park. Not sure how she kept it after that initial touch, but she does. Schuler. Away by Milton.
Not seeing Jess Park get on the ball too much within this game, but when she does get on it, she still even looks like that one player that is going to be able to do something for Manchester United. Finding Schuller there, but again, it was just a little bit sluggish with the touch.
Interesting to see what Martin Ho does at half-time. He does have Melvin Malar amongst the subs. No Elizabeth Turlin, their top scorer. The Galton is still out injured as well. When will he turn to Ella Toon?
Yeah, I think for me though, they need that energy potentially just saying about Melvin Mallard. I think she's been phenomenal for them this season, arguably one of their best players. You know, she can score goals, she is that player that can be direct and drive at people and, you know, take the game by the scruff of its neck at times. I think this is what it needs a little bit for Manchester United, but yeah, wait to see what he does within that second half.
Milton resets to Lisa Kopp, who's yet to make a save. The Dutch international this afternoon. Koga. Amano. Morris. Lindbergh has popped up centrally, and it looks like Blackstad can therefore try and enter that space. Just one additional minute.
Yeah, they're quite fluid in the movement. Tottenham are their team, Drew Spencer, and now just drifting out on that left-hand side as well.
Doesn't quite work with Tambo. Kamano trying to get onto the scraps. Miyazawa away. Managed to get the ball into United's box plenty today, Spurs.
Yeah, you just feel that the talk in the Chelsea game they played was they didn't take their chances. Today, potentially, have they, squandered a few opportunities to maybe take their chances as well. Ideally for them, they wanted to try and score before the break, and given all the momentum they've had.
Oh, Hermano's there, and so is Tam. And the frustration is that they haven't really stretched Tullis Joyce in this first half.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think for all the possession and all the dominance, how many clear-cut chances can we say they've had? It's been few and far between.
Well, the first half where Spurs have had the better of it, but are yet to make the breakthrough. Manchester United haven't been able to find their rhythm. Leah Schuler much discussed before the game. not really in it yet, but perhaps more a byproduct of the way the United are playing right now. Signia Galmstedt, Tinker Tambo look busy. There's a Kopp has had nothing to do in truth in the Spurs goal. United need to up the tempo in the second half to make sure they're still in the mix for the Champions League positions come the end of the season. Half-time in North London. Tottenham Hotspur 0, Manchester United 0. this game in the second half. Certainly a bit more from Manchester United fans.
Yeah, definitely. I think
line, and if you're a regular viewer of games, Skinner barking at his players for an improved second half performance. Clark, they've won it high. Rolfo, it's a good challenge from Koga.
really good defending there from Koga, but that initial press from Leah Schuller is what started that, and Manchester United winning that possession and forcing that error started the game with a little bit more intent and energy into the second half.
Koga hangs it forwards, and it's onto the chest of Tamberg, but she came back from an offside position.
Shame she was offside there. That's actually a really clever ball there from Koga, just to skip Manchester United's press and try and go straight into the feet of Tamberg.
Turner. And now Jess Park playing centrally for United.
Yeah, and sometimes that's where we see she's a little bit more dangerous, Jess Park, when she can come in and make midfielders work, and just to help control that midfield a little bit. They were getting overrun in the first half.
Job set. Seemed unaware that Rolfo was behind her. It's a clean strike, and just turned wide by Tullis Joyce. That's a moment when the goalkeeper's been at full stretch for the first time, I'd argue, this afternoon. And Olivia Holt picking up the ball for the effort.
Yeah, good work from Gautset initially. Manchester United can't quite clear the line. Holt does as much as she can to try and find that bottom corner. And Fallon Tullis-Joyce does well as she manages to make this save from Holt first eye towards goal first off to try and get it in the bottom corner, but Tullis-Joyce equal to it.
Outstanding this season, Olivia Holt. Comes the delivery, and Rolfo just hurried away for United. Bad news for United is that Chelsea have retaken the lead at Everton. Sam Kerr shortly after the restart. So Everton 1, Chelsea 2 at Goodison Park.
We see Jess Park here just sitting that more central but higher position, just supporting the press now for Leah Schuller. then May Letizia, coming from deep there to try and make the tackle. She came steaming out there, didn't she? But looks like she's come off the worst of the two.
What did she see there, do you think, Fern, to go after Spurs left back, trying to invert into the middle of the pitch?
The ball, ultimately. She came and thought that she could win that, didn't she? So it's just the initial touch from Blackstar just to take it out of her path. The momentum she's coming with, she couldn't slow down in time.
Maybe United do need to take more risks in this second half. Mind the London City Lioness is still 2-1 up on Leicester. It's hard to see the Foxes not finishing bottom of the Barclays WSL. Turner, sweeping ball out to Riviere Mallard. Heavy tackle from Blackstad.
Yeah, it was, but I think what I liked there though in the original build-up play to that was the awareness from Millie Turner just to play this ball out onto the right hand side and to do it quickly. Clumsy really from Blackstad into Mallard. But it's the intensity of that play that they know they need to step it up Manchester United, and Turner's trying to find that space out wide earlier.
Turner. Well covered off by Spurs. It's back to Lisa Cobb. Mind with the Spurs situation, they can't qualify for the Women's Champions League. 9 points behind the top three with 3 games to go. Yes, that's catchable, near impossible anyway, and then this crazy difference in goal difference. But Martin Ho's been pretty open, and some of his players, including Tinky Tamberg, about the ultimate ambition to be a Champions League team.
Yeah, and it's to talk about the future progression for them, isn't it, and what they want to do moving forward, and potentially getting the highest ever point. Ali.
This attack breaks down disappointing fashion after good work from Galpset in the middle of the pitch originally. Trying to get her and Olivia Holt into the same team firm, which she didn't do.
Come in on the right a little bit, but yeah, for me you've got to try and have the two of them in the side because they both bring such fantastic qualities.
Ovis. Rolfer. Now Parker has been a joy to watch this season. Off on a teammate, cut up by Galpseb.
She's on some 11 goal contributions in the WSL this season, Jess Park, which is phenomenal. I don't think anyone would have predicted that being the season that she would have had coming over from Manchester City, but she's hit the ground running, and she's not potentially been as involved in this game as she'd like, but I think now you say she's coming into these more central spaces. We'll see that now.
The Spurs are stretched, having getting it away. Salah tops an effort of Cobb, and that's the first time she's had to beat away a Manchester United shot. Good work from the substitute.
Yeah, and we see what different substitutes can make for Manchester United. Miyazawa just finding Mallard out on the right hand side, manages to get the shot off and cause problems for Koch. Just showing what she's capable of and what she intends to do now she's come into this game. And again, playing with that smile on her face, but she knew that's a missed opportunity. But again, a second try at this from the corner.
She has lifted Manchester United, there's no doubt, since the restart. Well, the last one of these from Fridolina Rolfer came in low to the near post, and this does likewise. Amano. Lindbergh can't collect, moved on by Park. Riviere, it's only Mallard in the middle and a number of Spurs shirts, but she might still get there! She does! But into the Spurs side netting. There'll be Mallard threatening again.
Yeah, as you say, it was only Mallard. There was the player in the Spurs box amongst 4 or 5 Spurs players, but she's the player that we know what she's capable of, and it's great build-up play down the right-hand side. Riviere continuing her run, gets her head up. Mallard just meets the ball, but again it's wide of the post, but yeah, it's a good start from her since she's come into this game. And if you're Manchester United, you're thinking probably need to gamble a little bit more and get more bodies in the box going forward now.
Started as the number 9, wearing number 9 in their last game against Bayern in the Champions League. Can't get beyond Blackstad this time. Wimberg, she's won it back. She's everywhere at the moment, Mallard. Blackstad.
She's lost out on that occasion with it, Mallard, but you see as soon as she gives the ball away, she wants to win it back.
She's in the box, so Schüller peels out to the Manchester United right this time. In terms of attacking options, Manchester United still have Ellen Vangerheim, the winter signing from Hammarby, to come on, and the quality of Ella Toon as well. Youngster Jess Anderson amongst the subs, having recently made her Barclays WSL debut. United, Spurs goal kick in fact.
Just headed onto the back of Lily Turner there, out for a corner. And the out for goal kick, sorry.
Ella Toon in discussion here, and in fact so is Anna Sandberg, so I wonder if they're the next moves for her.
If they were to come on, they're 2 real positive substitutions for Manchester United. Know the quality. There's an area where we see them be so dangerous. was in the first half. Tottenham not seen as much into the...
Lindbergh off. Chance for... Galbstep trying to meet that delivery. Dumped in by Spence. Relentless this as Holt can't get the shot away. And United survive that scare.
Yeah, you asked what trick she had for you and she showed you there, didn't she, Olivia Holt? Getting the little nutmeg in and trying to get on the other side of the Tottenham, sustaining the pressure, but as you see here, two really important substitutions for Manchester United.
Ella Toone returns for Manchester United for the first time this calendar year after her absence through injury. The England international will replace Leah Schulak. Huge noise from the away end. And then the like-for-like change at fullback, Lundqvist to Sandberg.
Yeah, you speak about Toone a lot as well, but we spoke about Anna Sandberg, but for me she's a phenomenal fullback. She's got that energy and endeavour. She's solid in a 1v1 tackle, and she can create and provide assists as well. I think they've really missed her since she's been out, so really positive to see her back in the side as well.
Yeah, 2 months with a knee problem. Toone more than 4 months. Mallard shuffles it onto Park, who's back out on the United right. Nelson. Toone, central, robbed by Holt. Sandberg. It's great work from the Spurs fans to make Holt aware that she was under pressure. To set away Morris. Well, coming together, waved away by the referee. Sandberg and Morris clash. Oh, in fact, it is a yellow card and a free kick right on the edge. How did you read that one, Fern?
I was looking at the response from Morris, to be fair, because originally usually you can tell by a player's reaction what they think, and she didn't kick up too much of a stink and too much of a fuss. We see again here, Morris looks like she's got the beating of Sandberg. Yeah, and here's a foul. Sandberg's got her arms all over Morris to pull her down, just on the edge of the area here.
She knew to let go at a certain point, didn't she? Feared that a penalty would be given. And that's the first yellow card of the game, in fact. For the Manchester United fullback just into it. Spence on the edge. Lindbergh on the ball. Oh, Galbstep! Surely off track work by Morris. What a story that would have been. Great chance for Spurs. Manchester United survive.
A fantastic chance for Galbstep inside the box. Morris with the follow-up, you can see. They know just how close they were. Nobody reacts quick enough. Manchester United were caught sleeping there, but Tottenham couldn't capitalise on it. Even Olivia Holt was sat in the edge around the spot, unmarked as well. I just think they've got away with one there, Manchester United.
Ella Morris, first time nearly a year, perhaps should have scored, but it's Hermano. Spurs ball again. Riviere clears. Oh, the game's got a bit of pace to it now.
Yeah, it just feels a little bit more end-to-end, doesn't it? Olivia Holt, a fantastic ball there. just a split of defence again, just trying to open up Manchester United.
Romano, Holt, Morris, Manunited comes from range. Oh, and it's a good effort from Vinberg. Thomas Joyce saw it all the way.
Yeah, Nielden can do that as well. She's got a phenomenal strike on her with that left foot. Not how I think she saw that one panning out, but Vinberg does well to react. But again, it's an easy one for Thomas Joyce.
Romano. Tambo with the take. Offloads to Vinberg. Vinberg running and nearly squeezing it under Tullis Joyce. In fact, I'm not entirely sure how that stayed out.
She does so well here, Vinberg. Really, really positive from here. Riviere trying to slide, can't get near it. Just creeps under Tullis Joyce and manages to keep it out. I think not even she knew where that one was going to end up, to be honest.
She was very relieved to see that swerve behind. Great pressure this from Spurs. Vinberg hangs it up. Oh, and spins wide. Well, Spurs have had their chances to score here. Tullis Joyce upset again at the way she's being dealt with. But Spurs have had 2 or 3 glorious openings now in the past few minutes.
This is arguably the best chance of the game. Tullis Joyce comes nowhere near it. And it falls so close to Drew Spence, and you can see what it means to her. She knows she's missed out on a golden opportunity there.
So the past 3 minutes, I've got it Morris, Galbset, Vinberg, and now Spence with chances for Spurs. And in fact, these have come off of the back of the Manchester United double change burn.
Yeah, it's almost like sometimes I think two substitutions are going to completely change the game, but it looks like it's almost upset Manchester United's flow ever so slightly and allowed Tottenham to get themselves back into this game.
Rolfo, Mallard. Mallard, that's extraordinary work. Eventually chopped out for a Manchester United free kick.
Took 3 Tottenham players there to be in and around Mallard to eventually foul her to try and get the ball off her, but I thought the pressure initially from Koga was phenomenal. I think she's been fantastic for Tottenham so far. Yeah, the foul from Galbset that does it.
Now let's see to hang this in. Mallard knocks it on, and big call from Lisa Kopp.
She's not had too much to do, Lisa Kopp, in the Tottenham goal, but I think when called upon, she's dealt with everything well. That was an easy one for her in the end from Mallard. Like you say, the game just opening up quite a bit now.
The last game here, Lisa Kopp was crucial in keeping the score down as Spurs did eventually lose to Everton. She made some brilliant saves that day against the Toffees. WSL Football launched their brand new app, by the way, offering fans both the Barclays WSL and Barclays WSL 2 and a front row seat. To download the app for free, fans can search WSL Football in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Mallard rustled off of it by Amanda Nilton, who's looking more and more assured at centre-back as the game goes on. Vinberg has options. Can't force it through Miyazawa. Away by Letitia. That pass was on out there for Spurs. And look at the shot count.
Wow, if you just look at those stats. Tottenham 20 shots. Literally only 4 on target, but the 20 shots just shows you just how often they've been getting at Manchester United, getting in around their box, but they can't make this run of possession pay off for them.
Holt's cross is cleared. Spence back in. Galvset. Oh, it's Blackstad, in fact, who has the shot. And it whistles over the top for the fullback. Big puff of the cheeks from Tullis Joyce.
I think that puff of the cheeks says it all from Tullis Joyce, doesn't it? She knows that Tottenham have come here today to play, to win. Blackstad doing really well, just to muscle Ella off the ball. It's a fierce shot to unleash. And again, you just feel like it's going to be one player just needs to take this game by the scruff of the neck because it's so end-to-end.
Oh, there's the frustration for Martin. He throws his bottle to the ground. This type of ruthless in the 3-3 draw earlier on in the season with their quality of shot, with the way they took their chances to go 3 up at United before that remarkable comeback in the final 17 minutes. Galvset. You can almost hear Martin Ho's post-match comments, can't you? If Spurs do not win this game.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. I think they have to try and put this game to bed because you say Manchester United can turn it on and can change at any point, but they have to make these chances count. Talk about like 62% possession for Tottenham, dominating in a lot of areas on the pitch, but it's ultimately the goals that count at the end of the day.
Now Everton 1, Chelsea 4. They're in Cuthbert with the 4th goal for Chelsea at Goodison Park. So right now, Chelsea moving 4 points clear of Manchester United, which would mean the fight for Champions League football might not even come down to that direct playoff, if you like, between Chelsea and Manchester United on final day. Galvset. Morris. Good ball into the middle, got flipped on. Park. Wants it back, will get it back, but it's too close to Amanda Nilden.
She's been great today as well. Amanda Nilden in the centre of the park, that partnership between her and Koga, I think they've done really well. Two with the right idea to try and play it into Jess Park, but ended up in being more of a 50-50 pass.
United are making a change, and Ellen Bangerheim, who's back from an injury of her own, having been out for a month with a shin problem, is going to come on. She replaces Rolfe, so positionally, like for Manchester United, still waiting for that first Barclays WSL goal.
Yeah, I think the Swede will come on and just try and again boost those attacking options for Manchester United, where it's not been quite clicking for them today. They've got quality in those areas, they're just not linking up very well as a side today at all.
That's the third United change, by the way. Mallard. Pings it to Park. It's a lovely take. Oh, the ball just behind Riviere. Forgive me, by the way, that is United's 4th change of the day, because Mallard came on at half-time. There's a yellow card coming out now for that foul. United are not going to be given the right to take the free kick quickly.
It just slows it down now for Manchester United, doesn't it? They tried to play that quickly, but it's now allowed Tottenham to get themselves back into shape.
So that was flashed to Micah Habano. It's a curling effort towards goal. Cox built in, but she had Koga for support. Riviere, Mallard, back down, Toon. Sambo. shot from way out. It's way over the top.
You know what, the way the game's going today, that you probably just think, why not? Because they've not had too many opportunities to challenge. It was Toon on this occasion to make Cop work. A little bit of a nervy moment there within Tottenham's 6-yard box, but again, Millie Turner steps up and takes a shot from distance, and sometimes you kind of feel like that might be what it's going to take today for Manchester United. They've not had too many opportunities.
Riviere. It is foul by Park. Well, this is Blackstad sent tumbling off of the side of the pitch.
See, Riviere's trying to play a ball there into space, which for me isn't really there. Park shows her frustrations a little bit with the push in the back of Blackstad, but it's another forced ball from Manchester United.
Hart back, Hart wins it. Spence chests it down. Ella Morris, is she going to be asked to go the distance here on her first start in nearly a year? 78 minutes in the legs, back from that ACL injury now in this game.
That's not something we're used to seeing, is it, on players returning back to play? You get your standard 30, 45, 60, potentially try and build them in a little bit, but yeah, she's done really well so far since coming into this game.
Lindbergh stays away from Miyazawa. They do have Josephine Rybrink on the bench. Could come on at right back. Clean sheets have been a premium for Spurs of late. In fact, only West Ham and Aston Villa have let in more goals this season in the Barclays WSL.
Yeah, for me, Rob, it's crazy. Spurs kept 5 clean sheets in their opening 12, and now haven't kept 1 in 7. And the amount of goals that they're leaking, yeah, I mean, this, to be at 0-0 now, I think this is an achievement in itself that they haven't conceded.
Oh, up by Riviere. Cop, well, that is on.
Thought that was going to be a commentator's curse there when I said that, but yeah, Cop's done really well to come and claim for that one.
Spurs are going to make a change, looks like, because Leonard Gunning-Williams is imminent. From Enfield, just up the road from here, from the club's academy. Deals with that. Spurs make the change, and Tinker Tamberg is the player withdrawn. She hasn't scored in the league since the 7-3 win at Aston Villa. Gunning-Williams, European champion with England's under-23s during the international break, is on now.
Yeah, it's a positive substitution. I think Tamberg has worked her socks off today, hasn't quite had a couple of chances with her head in front of goal, couldn't get it past Alan Tullis-Joyce, but to bring on Gunning-Williams, someone who's flying high on confidence right now, as you say, with that win with the young Lionesses and the under-23s, it's a positive change for them, and again, another attacking change.
Some of the chances that Spurs have had in this game have fallen the way of Tinker Tamberg. They would be leading this game. Spence off, risky. Nala juggles and moves and sees that she has Ella Toon advanced. Isolated now, Manchester United's number 7. London City 3-1 up on Leicester, by the way, in Bromley. Spurs have it back. Ooh, looks like Gunning-Williams was off. Are we going to have a winner here? Turner.
You still do feel like the game is not done yet, don't you, and not over, especially given the way it's been so end-to-end and the chances that Tottenham have created.
Time for Toon. Too much time. Trying to wheel free. Finds Mallard, who will have a shot at goal. And he just has enough momentum to trickle behind for another corner. She's been United's second half bright spark.
Yeah, just a change of pace when she's got the thought in her mind that she wants to get the shot off. And we'll see it again here, but for me, I think it's Nilden with the on-rushing tackle. She's been phenomenal today in Tottenham's defence. It's about whether they can stay mentally switched on now, Tottenham. They've not had too many corners to face from Manchester United this game.
United go short. Fine Park, who loves shooting for these areas, and Kopp claims it well.
Yeah, just falls to Park. Does really well just to wait patiently, just to get a strike off. Straight into the arms of Lisa Kopp. But we know too well Manchester United like scoring late in games, don't they? Especially considering if you look at the game where the sides played each other, scoring those goals late on, they won't think that this game is done and over by any stretch of the imagination.
Jump set. It's a bit laboured there as Nelson challenges. Moved on by Park. Toon. It's good pressure, and there's actually, you can see the fresh legs of the second half substitutes springing into action.
Yeah, real fresh legs there. It's almost like she needed to slow down, didn't she? She was going too quick into the tackle with Letitia. They're saying defending, the art of defending is how you can slow down when you get into those really quick positions when you are pressing, just so you can't be skipped past. But again, it's slowed it up and it's allowed their team to get back to a good shape now into that 4-4-2.
Sandberg. Spurs trying to keep United in their own half. Right now moving a point above Arsenal, but Arsenal would have 3 games in hand. And unless they win here, United are going to be 4 points behind Chelsea. Mallard running at Koga. Bobby Mallard, and the deflection. Saw that skew the ball away from goal.
And Park with the initial pass out on the left-hand side just to find Mallard, who's driving at Koga. Deflects off her back leg, I think it is Koga again. She's just really patient in the way she defends. No, she can't let her get too close to goal before she gets the shot off.
Well, now it's Manchester United racking up chances. What move next for Martin Ho? Have substitutes he can use. Headed away comfortably by Spurs. Comes back out to Sandberg with 3 in the middle for Manchester United, including Mallard. Oh, Kopp is there once again to claim the ball so well.
She does look so assured in that Tottenham goal, doesn't she? Confident, is willing to come and claim anything aerially. Sandberg just trying to put the pressure on this time, but he just comes and claims. Millie Turner pulling up in the aftermath of that.
That looked painful for Millie Turner. Maybe just jarred her knee first as she hit the turf. A quick chance for Mark Skinner to relay instruction.
Yeah, I think he's speaking to his players, and again, just showing them and emphasising the importance of continuing to push until that final whistle. See, she's holding on her knee, Millie Turner there.
Remember,
she's had knee injuries in the past, hasn't she? So,
right, including this season, suffered one back in September. That wasn't as bad as they initially feared. But something must not have felt right there for the experienced defender to go down like that.
No, and they're being sure in their assessments on it. They're taking their time with this one, making sure they don't put her under any undue stress or strain. You can see she's doing that with her hands, potentially the impact, as you said, Rob. Opportunity for players to just take on a little bit of water, get a bit of a breather. Hot out there today, big pitch, a lot of distance, a lot of ground to be covered.
Well,
and it's that mentality as well, isn't it? That kind of that thinking in and around. We've got to stay on this with our brains, not just our legs, so trying to stay switched on.
Encouraging at least from Mark Skinner that Dominic Janssen, starting centre-back, who was needed in midfield at times as well for Manchester United, that she's back training. Are United going to have to take off their centre-back, who scored that brilliant winning goal against London City Lionesses recently? So United are making a change, and Gabby George is going to come on for the final stages.
Yeah, it's a solid substitution in terms of the player and the personnel that is coming on. You can see him still explaining what it is that happens, that jolting and potentially that jarring, but Gabby George, has got some got to try and stay switched on now, because Tottenham have been coming firing on all cylinders at Manchester United's backline.
So we're going to have a big chunk of added time at the end of the 90 here. Gabby George, very experienced player in her own right, who had an ACL injury a few years back. Comes into the United's back line, but that's good pressure from Manchester United. A reminder, Spurs have never beaten United in the Barclays WSL as we head towards the final moments of the match. Been told we might have up to 6 minutes. Sandberg into Mallard. Koga, front foot again, stepping up from centre-back. Oh, there's a pass on to Wimberg down the left side for Spurs. Galvset. And Wimberg has got space ahead of Galvset, who holds on and holds on. Wimberg has it now. Rabia committed, didn't make any contact. Confirmation of the 6 additional at the end of the 90. Wimberg. Deep one. Amano. Holtz. Toom with a challenge. Some miscommunication sees United get the ball back.
Yeah, well, as you can see, Holt just expecting a step onto that little bit of lack of communication. It's going to be really, really key for them that they stay on it in these closing moments.
Amano, good challenge. Johnny Williams under pressure from Letitia. Can't get it back to Amano. Good link-up play, but eventually it looks like perhaps just some cramping up here for Olivia Holt.
Yeah, she's run her socks off today, Olivia Holt, hasn't she? She's really put her shift in, and see it coming out in the form of cramp in these last of suspected cramp in these last 5 minutes.
Getting out from Anna Sandberg. Well, she wants to come off. Gesture to the bench that they should actually make a change.
Maybe she's felt something potentially more there, more than what first thought, if she wants to come off so soon.
Evelina Summonen, not a tactically direct replacement, you'd argue, or of a holding midfielder, but she's on.
Yeah, she'll just come with that composure, won't she, that experience, come and steady the ship for Tottenham in midfield a little bit.
Forward, Gunning Williams. Oh, she's injured around Letitia, and she's in! Oh, what a moment and what a chance to win it for Tottenham Hotspur. The youngster in the dying moments.
Oh, she just couldn't make it count, could she? She manages to get the shot off, but it was all too easy for Colours Joyce.
Morris must be exhausted at this point. Can't keep that in play. Popped up towards Malar, up by Summonen.
Again, we see it again here, just that turn of pace from Gunning Williams, just to nick the ball past Maya Letitia, gets the shot off, but it's unfortunately a weak strike on goal and she can't make her work.
Ball in towards Malar, Spurs can let that go behind. Still feel like this game has got one major moment left. For young Lena Gunning Williams, shooting towards the south stand. It was the moment she's been dreaming of, I'm sure.
Yeah, what a time to do it that would have been in these closing stages to get the winner after such a dominant performance for Tottenham Hotspur.
Chelsea in added time, 4-1 up at Everton. London City beating Leicester 5-1 after a flurry of second half goals. Spence. United free kick. So technically going above Arsenal, but Mark Skinner will know, I imagine, Fern, that this isn't enough really to draw points to this draw games at this time of the season, as Ciccio looks to weigh up the chance to flick this free kick forward. High and direct. Malar tries to get there, Kopp. Not for the first time, so sharp off of her line.
They're trying to push now, aren't they, Manchester United, in these closing stages, but you've just got to think, is it all coming too little too late for them?
Upset. Summonen. Amano just slips. Good tackle on Park. Shifted forward. Spurs on the attack again. Your Barclays player of the match, Fern.
For me, I've gone for Amanda Nilden today. I think we spoke about a lot during this game, going forward, and also when she has been faced with challenges defensively, I think she's been phenomenal.
Spurs looking for the winner. Gunning Williams back across. What great break to a player in Lily White. On by Park. Malar. Nilden with some more defending to do before the game's end, and she stands up as she has done all day.
Yeah, and I think, just to talk about it a little bit more, I think when she's had those opportunities, she's been really faced and challenged. You've just seen it there in the 1v1 battle with Mallard, who's such a difficult attacker to come up against, and centre half isn't a position she has been used to playing this season. It's been more of a wide area, so I think she's stepped up to the plate today.
Well, look, the severity of the situation here for United is clear because Tullis Joyce is up for Manchester United. Mark Skinner knows that really they have to go and win this game. These are the risks to take at this time in the season. The delivery looks good, but Klopp's time is better. And Spurs now looking to move this quickly. Well, Mallard will get a yellow card, and United more than happy to disrupt that any way they could.
Yeah, again, it's Klopp in Tottenham's goal. He just comes and claims. She's trying to play it quickly. Mallard get herself booked. In the meantime, a right smile, but again, it's an opportunity for them to, you know, the game's kind of running out, and again, it's another opportunity lost for Manchester United.
And you can see the frustration for United. Yes, Spurs had to wait for that first Barclays WSL win against United, and they'll be ruining, no doubt, the hosts here, some of the chances that they failed to take. Amanda Nielsen, the star performer, and embraces from some familiar faces in either dugout. Mark Skinner will be really frustrated. His team are off the pace now for the Champions League, but Spurs will be equally frustrated. They haven't won the game for.
I think they will. I think they'll probably be really frustrated. I think a real positive for Spurs today is they've got themselves a clean sheet. As we spoke a lot about them before during the game about how many goals they were conceding. So that's a real positive for them, a clean sheet today. But the amount of chances they had, you know, 22 shots, not being able to convert or put any of those away will be disappointing for them. But as you say, Manchester United letting that gap open up now between them and Chelsea with 2 tough games to go is, yeah, it's really disappointing for them, and for them not to turn up how they would have liked to today. Again, I can't see Mark Skinner being happy with that.
An intense encounter, but nothing between these two sides. Full time in North London. It finishes Tottenham Hotspur 0, Manchester United 0.
Thank you.